morning, how are you doing? I hope everything is going on well, wherever you are. It's a very cold and rainy day here in Nairobi, man. Yani, iko na kausingizi tu, yani. It's a day of just chilling. But it's okay. We got to do it. We got to wake up. We got to keep you informed. Thanks to Sammy for that very informative interview. Make sure unapanga mambo for your children. Mapema saizi, especially when it comes to education. Yes, that's all I'll say. If you missed it, you can check the repeat in just a few, at around top of the hour, or you can check it out on YouTube. It's a very important conversation. In the meantime, between time, it's Tuesday, so today we want to talk about an interesting topic, and the mover of the motion. The mover of the motion is actually here as we wait for CJ Atemo to also join us a little bit later on. Bobby, how you doing?
Hi.
Waje? Uko sawa?
Good morning.
Morning.
Niko salama. Niko happy na feel good. Yeah, niko nafikiria too, we never talk about women. We never say nice things to women, so that's what we should do today. Especially since Mother's Day is...
It's just
right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yeah.
Sunday or Monday, yes.
I think Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
Yeah. So Niko, excited. I feel good. I missed you guys last week.
Yeah, man. Welcome back.
I needed a break, kidogo,
Yes,
just to rest. But I feel good today. I love the weather.
You love the weather?
Love it.
Where? Okay.
Love it.
You weather news. I love the weather. It's really okay if it's not raining. That's okay for me.
Or
Inaweza nyesha usiku, alafu sisi watu waamke waende kazi.
Or if you had no obligations, like you could just be chilling in the house with some
like
cocoa and just movies.
Yeah, and no bills.
Yeah. No bills paid already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's capitalism.
Here we are.
But it's okay. Anyway, today we have an interesting topic as always. So, first of all, we want to ask you the question. I don't know if it's ready, Shashi, but we also want to ask you who is watching, what makes women happy? That is the question that we're talking about. That's the discussion today. And the question we want to ask you as well, who's watching. You can SMS on 22422 and use the hashtag Daybreak. The question is, what makes women happy? I have a story as we begin before I engage Roberta. So, as is told, a man was stuck in an island. Oh, there's the question. Okay. I was about to tell you the story, but remember, man stuck in an island. But that's the question of the day we're asking, what makes women happy? It's a question that Nganga here seems to know, have all the answers to. He'll tell us. Ona Vilata America in caps. What makes women happy? SMS 22422 and hashtag Daybreak. Is it is it money? Is it enough money? Is it no money? Is it jewelry? Is it time, commitment? Is it what in your view? SMS 22422 and use the hashtag Daybreak. Somebody, a story is told of a man who was on an island, and God appeared to him and said, I want to grant you 3 wishes. And he said, all right, cool. So the first one, he said, I want a lot of money. Boom. Money appeared. He was given a lot of money. He was literally swimming. He was financially secure. I will swim up on dollars, gold, nini. He's chilling. Number 2, he said he's in the island, he's hungry, and he just wants to eat. And then he said, all right, cool. Boom. Akapewa yani, unakumbuka ile sheet Peter alipewa kwa Bible. Na ilikuwa na wanyama wote, chakula vyote, akaambiwa kula, kila kitu nimefanya ni safi, kula. Akula. And God told him, right, you got one more, I gotta go, I got to solve all the world problems. What's your 3rd wish? He said, I would like to understand women. And after he said that, God said, you just eat and enjoy the money.
Oh my God.
I'll be back.
I didn't see this going that
It's
way.
a conundrum. It's a conundrum. What do you think, why do you think, like you said, people have these notions that it is hard to make a woman happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you think that is so?
I just think we're not doing the work.
Who's we?
Everyone.
Okay.
I mean, everyone who lives under patriarchy is not doing the deliberate work. I was watching some segment on this lady, she's called Iyanla Vanzant. She was doing a segment whereby...
That's the name. I normally can't do that.
I had to listen.
Congratulations. Yes, among to Iyanla.
So I was watching it, and she was asking women, different women of different skin tones, just to sit before men of color, and it was women of color as well, and just telling them to just say, they were wearing placards where they said, they were written the feelings they were feeling. I'm hurt, I'm sad, I'm in pain, and just things like that. And they were speaking one by one, they were told to tell these men what they would like for them to do better and how men make them feel in the society. And these men were there to understand and listen without it being a gender war or without them fighting each other, just to listen and understand and see how we can forge forward together. And this conversation taught me, I mean, there's so many things in life that I've been going through of late that have been teaching me that we need each other. The men and the women, the females and the males, we all need each other, and we need to listen to each other, and we need to understand each other. So my answer would be to what makes women happy is for us to just collectively do the work where we're allowing women to exist in spaces without giving them the emotional burden that they have to go through every day. I mean, like I just realized in our group that we hardly ever talk about making women happy, or it's always women are complainers, they want money, they'll use you for what, they do this, but we never really talk about how can we love women better, how can we show up more for women, how can we make them feel comfortable, make them feel safe. And this is something that I notice every woman I talk to has an issue with. If you listen to all the women in your life, ask your sister, your mom, your friends, your cousins, a random woman on the street, ask them how they feel like they're being treated in this patriarchal society. They'll tell you that most times they have to carry the emotional baggage from men. They have to basically carry the whole entirety of the problems on their shoulders because they have to be strong, they show up. And you can see this very cognitively even in your relationships. Even if you think back to your household with your mom, you'll realize your mom showed up in everything when she was sick, when she couldn't, when she was unable to, when she had no money. She didn't miss school meetings. If she did, it was very rare, or they showed up for us in ways that are immense and crazy. And I would just love for us to acknowledge this and understand women and listen more and give them the space to be able to feel safe and show up as themselves. So as it is, basically, it's almost as if what I'm asking for is the lack of sexism, just basic human decency. We want a seat at the table without being made to feel like we're weak or we're not able to show up, because we've proven that we show up all the time. We do it all the time. We're the ones who carry the men in our relationships. And this is not to say that, not just as a burden, I mean, even in love, even in care, but really who sits and just says, this lady, I really, really love her. She's my daughter. Let me just be there for her. Or this is my wife. Let me just protect her emotionally, physically, mentally, in all ways. It's something that's very rare, especially when you talk to many women. It's something women, let me just say, women don't always feel loved. And I hope by having this conversation, we can turn it around, and instead of it being a gender war equal to, okay, I've had you, Bobby, I've had you and other women. And I want to listen.
Some love.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you say like they walk around and they carry a lot?
Yeah.
Right? And they, and like you said, our mothers probably, sometimes they, you know, most people say, you know, like when you're old enough, then your mom tells you stories and you're like, wow, what?
Yeah.
That used to happen and that's what you went through. Why do you think they used to carry it like that? Is it because they don't have an outlet? Is it because they're not, is it that they're not talking in their groups? Is it the way the society is set up? What do you think the root cause of that is? Why do they carry all of that?
Yeah, I love the suggestions you give, because that's exactly it. I mean, when you care about someone or when you care about something, it's very reflexive for you to want to protect it. This goes for women and men as well. So the general overview is that when women are committed or when they love something, they want to protect it. The privacy, just everything. It's like venye amwanikangi zile vitu zenye ziufanyika kwa keja yenu, because you just protect things, and you try to protect your family and the people you love so that they're at a better mental and emotional space. So also lack of awareness. We're not having these conversations. I also saw another video yesterday of this lady saying that she's happy that we're having conversations, because what it's doing is that it's making us learn so many things such as weaponized incompetence. Something people didn't know was a prevalent thing. People didn't know it's something that happens. This is whereby you're in a relationship with your partner, but they're always clueless. To leave them with the kids, you have to write for them instructions, change diaper, feed the child after 2 hours. But the other person is a parent as well. They're
flowing.
Yeah, they're just choosing to be very incompetent. They're not participating actively into the relationship. And for many times, we used to excuse this as, oh, he's a man. It's not his job. He goes to work. He doesn't do this. But in partnerships, we're supposed to have these discussions and see how can we help each other. Just because you're the lady and you're a housewife or whatever reason or whatever situation in your home, it doesn't mean that whatever you contribute to the family should be neglected or not acknowledged. And before platforms like TikTok, we thought these things were normal. We just thought, oh, yeah, men really have no clue. They don't know how to wash dishes. They don't know how to clean up after themselves. But now we are seeing that things like even leadership, it's very learned. It's not that men are always leaders. Women learn how to be leaders also. All these things are learned. They're things that you have to teach yourself for yourself before you can even give to the next person or to your partner. So with this awareness, it's bringing people to say, oh, okay, wow, I never knew about that. So now I'm learning. And now I know how to be loved. I know how to love myself better. Because there's more awareness, we're having these discussions around how to be better mentally, how to be better emotionally. So I think ni kitu tu tulikuwa tumezoea under patriarchy, but now that we're talking about it, and now that more people are able to come in community and discuss these things, it makes it better. And like I said, I just love when these conversations end in a way that we're thinking of better ways to uplift each other instead of it becoming a gender war. It's just, how can I pour more into the women in my life? How can I love them better? How can I make sure they feel safe, they feel loved, they feel appreciated, instead of women love money, they're given money all the time, they get that already. It's, yeah, okay, but how can I be nicer? And the same way I'd say white people have this privilege where they do things without thinking of the repercussions having a black skin can get them. I feel like that's how men navigate life. It's easier. It's a bit, I wouldn't say, I don't know what correct word to use, but it's just, kuna privilege flani already you guys have under patriarchy in the society. So if you're blind to it, you forget to see that women are not like you guys. Like for us, it's a bit difficult. Things like even walking outside, I have to think, do I walk alone? Can I wear these pants? Do I have to make sure I tell someone I've left the house? But for you, it's so automatic, like when you're out for a walk, it's something that's so easy and something that's so normal. So we have to be very mindful of such privileges and understand that we really need each other. We need you guys to provide the comfort and the safety and the space for us guys to feel loved and to be able to trust you guys. In friendships, in relationships, in the workplace, everywhere. So it's something that it's a give and take. Like we need each other. Yeah.
All right, it's give and take. CJ, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing? You all right?
Good morning.
Yes, I am.
Good morning.
Good morning. Everybody, you're looking good.
Thank you, sir.
Looking good as well. Nice shoes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Well, the move of the motion I said is here, so she's given her initials. presentation on it. But I started by asking her, and I'll ask you as well, because she said how, sometimes we don't really talk about it, like what, it kind of gets lost in translation. It has been bumped up to, like she said, perfect example. Ask anybody off the top of your head, what makes a woman happy? They say money. Like, I was just asking her, what creates that notion? How come it is difficult to navigate around what makes a woman happy? I give an example of a man who had 3 wishes. He was in an island. Wish number 1 was, I want money. Boom, God gave him all the money, gold. Wish number 2 was, hey, I need food because I'm in an island. All the food came. Wish number 3 said, I want to understand women. And God was quiet. Those 400 years between the Old and Testament. So why is it that way? Why is that notion that way?
I think mostly because that's what most of us also can provide. And so probably they settle for what they think is available. And there's certain things that money represents. So the issue is not so much the love for money. The issue is what money represents. Women normally would gravitate towards security. And money has a way of creating a bit of that sense, at least to a certain degree. The bills will be paid, the overheads will be taken care of. So in a sense, brings a sense of stability, which may represent security to somebody else. Like, I'm not going to worry about whether I'll pay the house or not, and whether there will be food or not, or whether the kids will go to school or not if the person has children. So it's what it represents, that it represents a sense of stability and predictability. Women love to be in environments that are very predictable. That's why when she starts hanging out with you, after a while, she wants to know, where are we going with this? We can't just be going out on coffee, on hangouts or something without clarity.
Who are we? What are we?
That's just a need of predictability so that they get to know. Women also do behave like the plane. They want to know, should I land? Should I land? Or should I get fly?
Is it clear? Yeah.
Because they're not wired to move around with their baggage and their luggage. They're not wired to do that. It's very different for a man, for example. You can come to my place and you'll just come in with a backpack and stay there for a while and not really bother. If Roberta moved into a certain space, she'll begin to feel like she needs to unpack her suitcase and arrange her things over there. Yeah. So if she doesn't feel that sense, she feels she needs to go back to her house, because women love to settle. So the thing that drives that money thing is actually what money represents, which is a sense of stability, that now I am sure I'll be able to take care of this and this and this and that. But the money in itself is not the greatest need. There are a lot of women who are walking out of relationships with people who have a lot of money. And they really don't care. They're going into spaces where they feel safe. They're going into spaces where they feel secure, where they feel stable. So what is this then that makes the woman feel safe, secure, and stability? She wants to feel wanted. She wants to feel wanted. Like, I am not imposing myself here. I didn't bring myself here, and you're not tired of me. You actually appreciate and love my presence in your life. She wants to feel that. She wants to feel that she belongs and in that space. And that could be in very many ways. So then it brings out the elements of affirmation. She wants to be affirmed. She wants appreciation. She wants attention. She wants affection. Those are the things that would really, really matter. If you don't have those and you put in the money, it becomes very transactional. And depending on her needs, because sometimes, and this is true even for men, men can actually get your money without really wanting you. So depending on her needs, she may feel like, I need the money, but then I'm not going to attach myself to this person. That's how some people say, so-and-so is using me for the money, because that's all you That's all you gave. They probably had a need and they felt like, okay, since this is what this person will give and I need it, I'll take it. But then they begin to look for all the other things elsewhere. They begin to look for somebody who really appreciates them, somebody who feels that they bring so much value into that space, and somebody who keeps on affirming them. Willis, words are powerful to women. Words are nearly everything. You speak the right words, it produces a whole miracle. You speak the wrong words, it will produce a whole devil for you. Words are so powerful.
Yeah.
And so you've got to know what to say and what not to say. And even not speaking. You see, for men, you can give men silent treatment. They'll just feel like, okay, the lady's not happy. He'll navigate around it. It will never bother him. He'll not stop functioning because she's not talking. He'll just know that, well, objects are falling in this space, so you need to
kind of navigate
around it. But for a woman, that silence kills her because words are everything. So when a woman then begins to find a place where she feels needed, wanted, valued, respected, she will gravitate towards that place. And those things are very simple, Willis. The attention that you show. You cannot be in somebody's space and be ignoring them. They will not feel valued. They will not feel wanted. The affirmation that they know that they have your heart, or they're the best thing that have happened to you. Well, okay, even if it's the best thing, but they're a real deal for you, the affirmation.
They're top 3.
The affection.
Right.
And affection is not always about the touching and stuff. That comes later as well, but even the tone of your voice. Even, I mean, you can't be rough with your tone and be touchy with your hand. It doesn't make sense, because this person, there's the message that is coming to the brain. And then you say, but I'm affectionate. I normally touch and hug. But you are hugging this person after screaming at her, insulting her, body shaming her sometimes. And then you want to hug and you say, you know, I was affectionate. I normally give you hugs. I normally hold your hand. And she cannot relate what you say and what you do. So there's the element of affection. There's the element of attention. The attention is listening to the nonverbal communication. Is this personal, right? That do you look at them long enough to know they must be dealing with something? They're going through something, because those then also begin to influence how we do the other things. Like, I may be looking at my wife and feeling she's not okay, and then be telling that maybe she doesn't want to talk about it, but maybe she just needs me to be in the room. You see, when you pay attention, then you get also to know this is the scenario. Then you begin to interpret, so how am I supposed to be present in this particular place? Like, would you have a partner who is not feeling okay, and then you just walk out because you had a meeting at 9 and it's 8:45, so you're walking out, and you know this is somebody you say you love, but then you've left them there. You don't even know what's happening with them. You've not even tried to find out or ask, and then you walk out. Those little things like that will tell somebody what you think about them. So even if you leave money, I mean, they're not fine. It's 8:45. You say, I'm running for the meeting. In case you need anything, okay, here. You pull out your wand of cash and put it over there. You'll find that money on the table. So it's not true that the only thing that women need is money, and underline only, because they do need money.
Yes.
Money is important.
It is.
But yeah, it's not the big handle.
No, it is not. There are a lot of things that then make that money look like a gift. There are a lot of things. We've said this here before. You know, if you go into some streets, you'll get services and put money there. There must be the difference between the money you give to somebody you love and the money that you give to somebody who just offered you services. Yeah.
Must be a difference. Okay, you say they're strong. Yes. Hallelujah. You want to say amen?
CJ makes you... Amen. See, when CJ is speaking, I just na feel nataka fall in love. And everything he described is just basic friendship. It's not some rocket science thing that lovers do. It's something that friends on the very basic level do for each other. There's no way you see someone you care about, even someone you don't care about, ukimwona hapo nje yako stressed. If you are a human being with empathy.
I'm still working, as Steve Harvey says, God is still working on me on that one. Me na kasi kulike nitakupita. Don't trip, he's not.
Kila mtu ako na levels zake za kumove on, na hold grudges, na forgive.
That's right.
It takes time. Yeah. It's work. But I mean, like, hata ukipata mtu hapo nje, kama sai kunanyesha.
So basic humanity.
Basic humanity. Hakuna venye uta walk away bila, hata uki walk away uta feel, ama ninge, you know, because that's how human beings are.
Right.
Empathy, if you have empathy, that's just how you're gonna be. So, something that I wanted to say, it's friendship and emotional intelligence. And just showing up, being in touch with your emotions without thinking. I saw they call it on Twitter, being a simp. But everything they describe around being a simp is just being a normal, loving human being. So I don't get it. I mean, we're soft. Just be soft with us. Hatutaki hizo mashida za kustruggle na kuteseka. Wase wanataka kutuchukua tukiwa soft hivi, kama unaona venye niko soft. Unataka niende niteseke, like what? Kwani you don't want nice things for me? You can't see even me, I'm just nice, I'm okay. Yeah. I want nice things, you know.
Yes.
So just be kind, just be thoughtful, just be present emotionally, mentally. Just show up in a way that makes women feel safe. This takes you a long way. And I always tell all my friends, if there's something that you need, it's a strong community of women around you. It will take you so far. Further than women, first of all, have you noticed they know everyone? They always have connections. And they have money. They know you might, if you've not been close enough to women for them to spoil you, you might not understand. But women have money. Yeah. They have money and they save and they protect themselves and they take care of their people and they love their people and they...
There's all this, even, how do you say, kuna app? Chama, as in that's how intense...
Yeah, like, they take care of each other. Right. There's no way... Like I always say, the way we are socialized, hata sahi nikiingia nipate mdema hapa kwa studio, hatujai meet, ukitupea tu 10 minutes, ndakuwa najua anaishi wapi, anafilaje, mamake amemwambia nini leo, chali yake alimdamplini. I'll know everything because we talk and we take care of each other. Kama hana chakula nitakuwa nishamsaidia within those 10 minutes. But
there's somebody who najua,
yeah, like there's always something. Yeah, but
sisi ni fist bump.
I realize when men are chilling, it's about football and like inanimate things. I mean, like, do you ever just say, yo, bro, I love you, can we talk? You know, it's very rare. And we need to start making it normal so that it's not just amongst yourselves, so that it happens for us as well. So that when you're with us, you're not feeling like, lazima kukwe na hiyo wall, lazima ukae macho, and you can't be vulnerable. Because what we need is that vulnerability. We need you guys to show us that you're able to be very smart emotionally. I hear people say that, oh, men are logical, women are emotional. But imagine it benefits you better when you're both, because you have to involve both heart and mind when you're making decisions. You have to let your heart and your mind, even if it looks good and it feels and it seems right, if it doesn't feel right for you in your heart, it still won't be 100. Lazima ubalance, lazima make sure me apply zote. So I'd say, for the sake of humanity, not just amongst the boys, for you guys, for it to project, for the emotional intelligence to project towards the women as well, we'd love to feel safe and loved by you guys. We'd love to feel like it feels good. It feels good to have friends who you can count on and you can call without it being, madem wanatakanga sijui nini. Juu pia nyi machali utaka vitu. Lakini who's complaining? See, us guys, we just show up. Your mom shows up. Your wives show up. Your sisters show up. Mi bradhangu hata nikasirisha aje, akini call bado tu ndamtumia Kenya nataka. There is no day I've ever been like, but I hear other men, like I hear men talking, you know, it's so easy for them to not show up emotionally, cut off siblings who hurt them, cut off people who are not showing. I mean, we need to have discourse and conversation and show each other that we need each other. And it would be so much better if we can feel safe around you guys. So what makes women feel happy is everything CJ said. We need the affection, the the attention, the caring, just basic human decency, hiyo tu ya feel like you're not sexist, hiyo tu. Alafu everything else builds from there as the relationships strengthen and grow.
CJ, now I will say 20 years. Been married for 20 years. So over and above your other accolades and credentials in different fields, ukiongea watu wanafaa kusikia. Just based on that alone. So what would you say like has helped you to keep, you know, showing up for your wife all these 20 years? Because I'm sure, well, I'm not sure, but I imagine that, you know, she's been evolving and changing as of you. So what has made you keep showing up for her, you know, in all these different ways and phases that she's had and you've had?
And her showing up for me as well.
And her showing up for you, yes.
I think it boils down to commitment and respect.
Yeah.
Basically, everything else will stem up from there. The commitment, there are times that you will actually not be sure about whether you should be in that space, because sometimes you're not changing at the same pace and sometimes you're not both changing at the same time. Sometimes one person is dealing with changes while the other person is not. Then another time the other person is dealing with changes while the other person is not. Then there are times when both of you are dealing with changes. There all kinds of stuff, like, you know, if one of you would face the loss of a job, the loss of a loved one or something, it's going to hit differently. And there's how you will differently show up in those spaces emotionally, mentally, psychologically, that if the other person is not careful, you can lose each other at that point in those turns and the bumps that you hit. But there has got to be this commitment that no matter the seasons that we are in, we're going to work out through this. And that comes now through the communication and the conversations that you have. Talking about where you are at, talking about what things mean to you, talking about how you feel or how you felt about something. Whether you will do that in the immediate or in retrospect, you will still have to talk about it. Talking about things is actually proof of commitment that you want to have this relationship work. If you don't talk about it, it means you don't really care whether it will work or it doesn't work. And you have to really invest in talking about the different seasons of your life, the different things. The element of respect, Willis, means that even when we disagree, there's a way we can treat each other. That's just the basic element of respect. Like, I shouldn't say something to you and justify it with the fact that I am angry or I'm upset with you. I have to be able to express myself and my displeasure with you without necessarily trying to hurt you out of that, so that I leave room for us to be able to reconcile tomorrow. So that's the basic place of the respect. And respect shows up a lot in the spaces where people have conflict, divergence of views, and then even just the thing that, see, I've got children. And so how would you want those children to view their mother? And how would she want those children to view their father? So even if we have any issue or disagreement, these guys are not supposed to be involved in it. They should never be made to think that the other person is in a certain way. They have to be protected. The sanctity of how they view their mother or how they view their father has to be retained, because the issues we have are between the two of us. We shouldn't influence these other people. So that's the element of, you know, maintaining the respect.
So you shouldn't be like, oh, unaona baba yako anafanya or unaona mama yako anafanya hivi. Yeah.
No, you shouldn't do that. Yeah. You shouldn't. You're two adults. You need to work on these things by yourself and talk about it. And it takes work, Willis. It takes work, because you get to a certain stage. You get to probably the first 3 years are normally said to be very interesting years. And so many people lose their marriages and relationships in the first 3 years. You get to around 5, you begin to have a sense of stability. By 10, just like for any company, you're stable, but that a lot of things have changed. Your financial levels have changed. The things that you're dealing with in the house children are here, decisions that are being made are very different. You're bringing in your different parenting values. You begin to have probably conflicting ideas even on how to parent. One person will be saying, no, let the kids go out and play. The other one is, why are the kids playing? If you're not very careful, if there's no sense of commitment and respect, those little things can begin to make you have issues with yourself. And you even will be carrying a lot of stuff about the two of you to other people. Sometimes I listen to how people talk about their spouses elsewhere, even when they have had disagreement. And this person will be sitting in a salon and talking about a husband like, you know, to the whole world.
Right.
That's disrespect.
Yeah.
Because these guys are not going to solve it, and some of them don't even know this guy. You're looking for help, go to a place where you can actually get help. Still protect the sanctity of that institution that you have. You don't just go announcing everywhere to people, my wife is like this, or my husband is like this. So basically for me, I would just say it comes back to commitment and respect. Yeah.
Basic commitment and respect. Let's take a look at what you are saying over on the feedback that you said, what makes women happy? Let's take a look at the feedback here real quick. Okay, not maybe as quick as I thought. Let's take a look at some of the feedback. So the question was, what makes women happy? Let's, all right, take a look at that. Okay, yeah, if you could put it at the back here. But giving gifts to your partner could be as simple as a written letter or a playlist of your favorite songs. It doesn't need to be the most expensive things. Women appreciate it more when you are really sincere in giving them gifts, all right? Arguments are inevitable in a relationship, but always remember to be sensitive to the things you say to your partner. It will not only hurt her, but it can also lead to a much greater problem in your relationship, all right? When promising something to your partner, try your best to keep the promises, I guess, as much as possible. That way you can be worthy of your partner's trust. Being respectful to your partner is one of the
Key factors.
Key factors, all right, yeah. Key factors, I might need to go and see Anini. Key factors to make her happy, and also your relationship. Respecting her opinion on things or situations can lead to less arguments in your relationships. Protecting your partner from people who hurt her is a big thing. Make her feel that you are there for her whenever she feels sad and alone. Loyalty to your partner is very important. If you want to have a harmonious relationship, lying about what you are doing and who you are talking to can lead to trust issues. Becoming her cheerleader when she plans to do things, make her feel more driven to do things she wants. Knowing that someone is there to support her all the way keeps her delighted and motivated. Consistency is the key to a happy partner and a relationship. All right. Men are naturally secretive in terms of what they feel about something, but opening up to your partner is a good gesture. It's a win-win situation. Not only will you make your partner happy, but it will also help you open up to someone whom you really love and trust. Hey, Leo Mukona. Do not take her. What happened to the last one? I was about to read the do not take her. I'm Bila Mesoma, that's why I do the line.
Enough.
Enough of this. All right, there it is. Do not take her for granted. Taking her for granted can lead to a breakup. She can leave you when she feels useless in your relationship. Very interesting. But I'm mnaacha jina. Hamutaki ku speak na chess. Amuko na jina and where you're watching. I hope
boys wameacha hizo opinion.
Yeah, but that's good. That's a very important thing. So, again, Bobby, just like you say that you hope ni boys na wameandika hizo. Why do you think also sometimes there are situations where men do not want to, like you said, simping, which has been such a thing online. Men don't want to express that mimi I'm good to my wife, mimi naonganga na bibi yangu mzuri, mimi tuko tu sawa. They would rather, mimi bibi yangu ananiambia kitu mimi nikifika kwa hiyo nyumba mimi na ule msee. Why do you think that's the case?
Sini hiyo land toxicity. I mean, I always blame patriarchy and capitalism for everything.
Those two things.
But I mean, because amko socialized hivyo na nataka change, nataka mjue ni normal, ni safe. Pia nyinyi ni safe for you guys to feel safe with us. And I want to speak for women when I say that we want you guys to, hizi vitu zote tunaitisha, tunataka pia nyinyi mfeel hivyo. Tunataka mfeel safe enough to come to us. Mweze mkimaliza kwa tough uko nje na kubitwa say na fight all those things, we want you to come back home and just offload and just feel safe and vulnerable and okay and just release everything else that is heavy on you. And we want the same space. But if you do not know how to do that for yourself, we mwenyewe ukika peke yako huwezi tuka useme, I love the way CJ talks about his wife. If you can't do that when you're with yourself or even with your friends, do you really think you're ever going to be able to do that for someone else? You cannot create that space. It starts with you. We mwenyewe lazima uji-accept, ujipende, na understand that opinions za wase wengine, especially kwa relationship yako, hazifai ku-affect. You're supposed to be confident enough to stand in your own words, to stand, like there's one of the comments said, they'd like for men to just keep their word, and when you say something, follow through with it, talk about it. Saa ingine unaweza promise kitu na ushindwe, ama vitu tu happen, but you need to feel safe enough to come to me and tell me, you know, I couldn't do this because this. And if you don't feel safe within yourself, juu ujaji accept, we mwenyewe kwa akili yako unafeel kawe ni failure, but hata ujaniambia na mimi sijakujudge hivyo. So it starts with you. You have to work on yourself internally for you to be comfortable enough with yourself to understand what love is, what friendship is, what basic human decency is. How to be a friend to yourself is, how do you make yourself feel? And then when you hang around someone else, you transfer those feelings to them. You project them onto, venye wewe unapenda kula mkate kila siku. Na kila siku unapitanga kwa supermarket unabaingi mkate. It will be so easy for you when your wife at home says, ya napendanga brown bread. Hata ka upendi brown bread, si wewe buy bread every day, utafikiria wacha ni buy mbili, white na brown, ama leo wacha ni compromise, ni learn brown ni about nini, kesho wacha ni mlete white yaone. It's so easy for you to project whatever you have within yourself outside. So you have to work on yourself. Be the person that you want. Hizi vitu zote tunasema siji shows up for me, is emotional, is vulnerable. You have to do these things within yourself so that you're able to show up for other people in the same way. And I really don't believe simping is a thing. I think it's me when I see the explanation, naonanga tu ni basic human things that I deserve and things that that's exactly how I'm supposed to be treated on a very basic level. And once I started believing that for myself, and because I show up for myself like that, it's also very easy for me to notice when people are trying to shorthand me, when someone is trying to come into my life and try to make me less or suppress me or make me feel inferior, because niko na standard already nishajiwekelea. Kama niyo ya kukula mkate kila siku, naweza jibaya mkate whether we uko or not. So you can't come into my life and start making me feel bad about bread, but you can teach me better. You can teach me about better types of bread. You can improve my life, but the level nishajiweka already, your standards zangu na boundaries, I already know what I deserve, what I need for myself. And that's exactly the same standard I treat everyone else around me. If I know you're my friend and you like something, I will take care of you in that way when you're in my space. Because that is exactly what I expect. And because there's communication around my needs, I feel like you should have it easier as well, communicating about your needs. Tell me as my friend, tell me how you feel, tell me what you want, tell me what you think, how can we improve our relationship, how can we be better? How can I listen more? Last time I was mean, how can I do better this time? Teach me, don't, let's just improve each other and be better. And if you do this on a personal level, on an individual level, it will always project onto your other relationships. So you'll stop feeling like when you go all out for people you love, you'll stop feeling like, Mama, I shouldn't do that. Watu wanasema. You do it because you can and you want to, and it's the way you show love. And I promise you, it'll come back. It's like I had a friend who used to say, yeah, patangi birthday gifts, na nafanyanga watu vitu. And then I started to realize that it's because when they do, first of all, they
female,
expect. It was a male.
Okay.
I realized they do expecting. They do because they're expecting, first of all. The only reason they do things for people is because they want people to do for them. And you see, energy, like vibes don't lie. It's easy to read vibes and energy. You can always tell when someone is doing something genuinely or when they're doing it just because they want something from you. Two, it's because they weren't doing, just because of that, they weren't doing it out of, utajipata we mwenyewe ukinibaya birthday gift this year, next year, definitely you're on my list of gifts that I have to buy. And it's not because that, yeah, I have to buy because ulinibaya zi. Ni kwa sababu, that's the standard we've set for our relationship. Now I know Willis buys me birthday gifts. It would be nice if maybe he bought it for me because he wants for me to do it for him. Maybe that's his love language. That's how he feels loved. So if he does it for me, it would be really nice if I reciprocated it. It's just, if you create a space for yourself that you really enjoy,
right,
you bring other people into your life and they're able to enjoy it on the same level with you. So don't listen to people who want you to be less or inferior. Have people around you who want you to improve, be better, do better, and they love you better, they'll teach you more, and you'll ultimately become a better person for yourself. And
is that the thing, CJ, that through times I've heard Bobby say that, you know, you unaenda kufanya watu wanasema watu watasema, ama, you know, watu wanasema kwa social media. So is it also important, you know, for the man and the woman to have the right people? How important is having the right people around you in terms of, you know, getting your thought process and everything and outlooks?
It is important, very, but not just having the right people around you, but listening to the right people. So that even if you're in this whole crowd, that is Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you're not listening to everybody. You're still listening to the right voices, because you first of all have to define whom you want to become, where you want to go. So you have a vision now for Mali, Yara, you know, your family. And so no matter what people will say online, there is where you want to go. There's a kind of family you want to raise. There's how you want to raise your children. And so you listen to voices that empower that. People who will teach you, not that you're looking for people who say yes to everything that you're doing, but if I want to raise responsible kids, then I'm listening to people who will teach me on how to be a responsible father to raise responsible children. So I'll be learning, how do I become a present father? How do I become the kind of father that my children will listen to, who will have both the friendship and still be the father? What are the things that I need to deal with? Are there things from my past that would interfere with me being the kind of father that I need to be? So I listen to those voices, and some of the things they may say may not be things that are palatable to me at that particular point, but they're helping me to get to the place that I want to go to. So we sometimes, the problem is that we might even be surrounded by the right people, but we overlook those guys and listen to all the wrong people. So you go to Twitter and you will pick up somebody who is in his survival mode and is projecting all his pain, and then you pick that, and then you want to bring this. Nobody has hurt you. The people around you are cool with you, but now you're adapting his philosophy. You're adapting his philosophy or her philosophy, and you're messing up a good thing that you have because you want to fit in with people whom you don't even know. Some of them will be saying stuff online that they don't do offline. They are very good and they are very calm back at home, but they come up here to show up in their online personality, and you'll be messing up your stuff because you want to fit in. You have to deal with that peer pressure. Yes. It is okay to have a normal family. It is very okay. We can't always be bragging about dysfunction, and we can't always be bragging about, you know, things not going well. We can't always be expressing our dysfunctions and making that look like the normal. It's okay to have a normal family. It's okay to have a wife that is okay with you, a husband who loves you. It's okay to be a good person. It is okay to be a good person. Like, you don't have to have a crazy side for you to become successful or to trend or to do all of that. It's okay for you to just be in your epitaph written, he was a good father.
Yes.
That's good enough. And that's huge. We don't look at those kind of things sometimes. So as much as it's important to surround yourself with the right people, the question is, do we listen to them? Because sometimes people don't, I think we talked about this last week, people don't listen to the people around them who really mean well for them. So whom are you listening to?
Right.
Whom are you following? Whom are you following? You can't be wanting a functional relationship and you are following every dysfunctional, you know, people who are haters of women, haters of men.
Yeah.
You can't be following those guys and try to build something that is functional over here. Because the things that we read, hear, and see begin to form our thought patterns and mentality. And then those begin to trigger our emotions. And eventually, that's the energy we will release. So if I want to express the energy that Bobby was talking about, that should be good, I can't be listening to some kind of thinking. Because eventually, it will be planted in my subconscious, and then I will begin to release this negative energy. I will be very negative towards these people. I will be hurting people around me. Then I'll wonder why they're expressing the same energy back to me. Then I justify myself. You see, this is why I knew. This is why I do what I knew, because I knew she was going to do this. Not knowing, I triggered that.
Yeah.
I triggered that. I triggered them to get into the place of survival. Anybody who gets into a safe space becomes soft. This is why people will talk about married men and say, he's been Saturn. He's not been Saturn. He has just learned to be in a safe space, and so they don't feel the need to fight. And you can't blame them for not fighting. I mean, nobody wants to fight forever. I mean, even financially, economically, Willis, you don't want to be fighting forever. You want to get into a place of rest. And so when people feel that you are not on that survival mode, attack mode, and fight mode every time, they think something is wrong with you. Why? Because they are in the place of fighting all the time. You have to listen to the right people. Not just be surrounded by the right people, but listen to the right people. Follow the right people. They are people you shouldn't even follow. You shouldn't. They're going to cause you to become emotionally distressed, and then this begins to play out on other people as well. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'd like to end it there because of time. I hope it is okay to be good, though. It's okay. No drama. No existing drama. Wachana na drama. Zima kabisa. All right. 30% of them need time and attention. This is Brian Koech, my friend from the KDF, ako hapa DOD. Amasema 30% of the women need time and attention. Very good. I don't know how you came to 30%.
71 adu.
No, I was about to say, but it's so good. It's a percentage. Maybe it's 30 out of 50.
Oh, okay.
All right. Asante sana, thank you so much for watching. Now, I want to advise you, if you're just catching us as we're wrapping up, to go back and watch this show on the digital platform. Or even right now, go to YouTube if you have some time and rewind. And just when we began, it's a very interesting conversation. It will change a lot of your perceptions. Let's love the women. Let's make sure that they're happy, that they feel the affection and the attention, and, you know, get that safe space where tuwapende tu, yani vile Bobby amesema vitu soft watu soft. So it's not an excuse for toxicity, but today it's all about love. So we won't even discuss that part. We are aware, yes, kuna mtu ananiwacha sema lakini unajua yule mwenye amenifanyia ni sawa, but kuna mwenye hata kufanyia. So tafuta huyo na mkue soft. And what CJ said, it's not enough to just surround yourself with the right people. Listen to the right people and follow the right people. Sawa? Ni hayo tu kwa sasa. Real Madrid. It's okay.
Vitu soft.
Vitu soft.